What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rsay podcast. My name is Arsenio Mas. You can follow me on Instagram at RSAYSR, or you can follow the podcast page at Rsay Podcast. Today is a solo episode, man. I'm hoping to kind of weave in, the follow my journey kind of aspect of it on this episode. Kind of do like a recap on since follow my journey. I didn't even get any clips or anything prepared. So, this might be a little long one that I'm going to have to cut down, but it's all good. Anyway, thank you so much for everybody that is listening. I really, really appreciate you. Okay. So when I started this, I'm just going to basically get right into it, I guess. When I started doing this, it was with the crew. Then we went our separate ways, and I think I've explained this before, but decided to just kind of go on my own. Well, once we all kind of just split up and did our own thing, I just kept doing it. I decided to change the format. I started off writing about me, kind of my family, my background, my seizures, my stuff, stuff like that, my depression, anxiety, and eventually talking about psychedelics and stuff like that, and kind of using it as a journal. And so what I'm doing now, I want to try to recap all of that. I started with Follow My Journey. Follow My Journey is basically, like I said, is just a journal talking about, all the shit that's wrong with, all the stuff that I was feeling at the time. They're short, 15, 30 minutes maybe. That's all I could really fill, because I felt like I was shaking every time I was doing the podcast. It was because I knew for a fact that I had to do something. So I put it out, and barely anybody listened to it. It's okay. But what it did was allowed me to kind of deal with all my little bullshit, you know what I mean? That's going on in my head, in my heart. I did, I think 4 or 5 episodes. Elisa, my wife, she came on with me on, I believe, Follow My Journey 5. We talked about, her concerns, I guess, with me taking psychedelics, kind of me explaining to her why I want to take psychedelics. It was a good little conversation, and we had it was fun. And we got real deep after I hit stop, you know what I mean? So so that conversation kind of means a little something to me. It means a lot to me, actually. All right. So that's what kind of Follow My Journey was all about. Just kind of me getting all that frustration out, man. And I won't apologize for it. I really don't feel bad for it. I got to be perfectly honest. It's because the way I felt. Do I feel that way now? Probably. I've done this before, by the way. I've done a dolo, or I call them dolos. I've done a dolo episode before, but back in, I think it was November before my mom died, and I ended up never putting it out. Never putting it out. I think I might have even deleted it. Real quick, when they want to come back, we're gonna do I'm gonna listen to some of the Follow My Journey. All right. So right here, obviously, it's my Spotify page. Go ahead and follow the podcast on Spotify. Follow My Journey 1. As you can see, here's an intro into the journey to finding enlightenment through psychedelics. I try to sound all freaking cute and shit. I suffer from depression and anxiety, and I've always felt something blocking me in my life and never understood why. I still feel like something is blocking me. And I've realized that it's me. I'm blocking myself. All right. So, with that, it's like, see, I don't like to get too preachy, man. I feel like I get too preachy sometimes, especially around family. But I feel like, if it wasn't for bad luck, I would have no luck at all, So, I kind of felt like that my whole life. And by the end of 2020, or in the middle of 2020 there, that's when, I started doing this. So we're going to go into it a little bit. I'm going to go about a minute in, because I think or maybe 30 seconds in. That way you don't have to listen to the intro.
And many more. You can make money off your
podcast. Oh no! All right. So I tried to put some like relaxing music.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And when I did this podcast, I was actually on my porch under a canopy, and I started doing it inside the house, and then I came outside because I wanted to smoke cigarettes. I wanted to talk bullshit, drink beer, and kind of say whatever the fuck I wanted to say. So I ended up going outside, and then not for this though. It was later on. Anyway, get back to it.
To Fredericksburg's finest. This is Arsenio Mass, and right now I am on my back porch, chilling on this beautiful day. Got the sounds of one of the major roads, Route 3, right there behind me, making plenty of damn noise, but it's all right. Hope the audio isn't too bad. Don't have anything really to spotlight this time. It's been a while. I was just kind of hoping I can do a solo episode.
Okay, so up until this point, I was doing something called Fredericksburg's Finest, and where I would, kind of go through and talk to people that's in the Fredericksburg area. I met some great people, by the way, by doing that. By the time, we kind of had all broken up, the crew, I was falling into a deep depression. That's when I just found out my mom just got cancer. It was a crazy ass time. So yeah, I didn't want to do that anymore. I didn't want to, go out because I felt so uncomfortable. It felt so uncomfortable being out there, talking to people I had never met before in person. It's kind of different when you're, social media and, you kind of hide behind your profile picture, but when you're there in front talking to people, it's a totally different thing. You know what I mean? And that's the part that kind of, where the anxiety pops in, you know what I mean? Go back and listen to it. Well, I'll probably do that too. Right now, I'm doing Follow My Journey. Maybe I'll go back and do Fredericksburg's Finest for y'all. We'll see how it goes.
I'm not sure how long it's going to be. But hey, here we go. A lot of things have gone down in the news since you last heard. And it's been a wild roller coaster ride. It's ridiculous, all the stuff that's happening now. I don't know if it's happening more or is it that we're just seeing it more because of the internet, which probably is that.
So what I was talking about was the riots that were happening. I believe it was Ferguson. I think it was Ferguson with Floyd. George Floyd.
But it's crazy. George Floyd being murdered. Seattle being over.
That's right. I completely forgot. Seattle became overrun. I completely forgot about that.
The city is being overrun, being taken. They took City Hall there. It's amazing what's happening. Not sure how things are going to pan out, but I really don't think they're going to be I don't think it's going to end well at all.
Has it? I mean, it's been a while and it still hasn't ended. It's still the same way over there, right? Damn. Fucking crazy. Almost a year later.
I've been struggling because I really want to do a podcast. I would like to do a podcast with somebody that wants to do a podcast.
Yeah, because at that point, 3L was breaking up, and the one person that would do a podcast with me didn't want to do a podcast every single week or every couple of days like we were doing. So, I was feeling some kind of way, obviously.
Someone who's engaging. But at the same time, I'm such an introvert that it's kind of hard to talk to people, you know. And like in some of the older episodes, or you can hear, you know, I was very nervous. Hold on, I'll let that motorcycle pass. I was really nervous, and the interviews were with, you know, some friends of mine in the beginning.
Yeah, because I was talking about doing Fredericksburg's Finest, and if you look, the first two episodes were with Kevin KG Red, which is a wrestler for TCW, and the second one was Macho Mortensen. He's a local open micer that, you know, he's around town, does some you know, some music and stuff. And he's a great ass cook.
Shouldn't have been nervous, but there was just there's some type of anxiety, I guess, producing a show and having the jitters and doing all that kind of stuff with what little knowledge I have and equipment, mind you.
Mind you.
But now, you know, because of this quarantine and everything, I just haven't had the, you know, drive, I guess, to do it. It's been rough past few.
Rough. I say that shit a lot. My bad.
6 months or so, 5 months, 6 months. Back in December 2019, my mother got diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. She had a hysterectomy and is currently going through chemo and radiation treatments. Since there is it's no cure, stage 4, it's at this point is day to day. So hearing that back in December, and then in March, my father-in-law got diagnosed.
Yeah, this shit was hard, man.
With stage 4 thyroid cancer. When he was by the time he was diagnosed until the day he passed away was 22 days. So that was really hard on us, on the family.
Actually, is such an understatement. It is still hard. We're still learning how to, you know, deal with day-to-day things without, you know, two of the strongest people that we ever had in our lives passed. You know what I mean?
So it put us in a damper. It made us really depressed. So the quarantine and COVID, I know it's going to be crazy to hear somebody say this, but it was kind of a blessing for us.
Facts.
We were able to, you know, mourn correctly, you know, for my father-in-law, and grieve. You know, we're still in the grieving process.
And still are.
But it's getting better, and the time that we had to not have to worry about, you know, working, if you will, and going out there and hustling, it was a nice little break. I was debating on even whether or not I wanted to make a Fredericksburg's Finest, or at least in the same way that I've done it. The first, you know, 5 or 6 episodes. I guess maybe the first 4. The other ones were by myself. But I really did enjoy.
Man, that Route 3 traffic is rough.
Turkey Shoot and Uber Stories. Those were really fun to do. It kind of sparked something in me that I like, you know, I like writing.
That shit changed. Oh, but I fucking hate writing now.
But again, you know, once all this stuff happened, it just sucked all the creativity out of me. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to do any of that. I didn't want to socialize. You know, it put me into a real...
Still don't want to socialize.
Depressed state. So I kind of want to talk to you about. No, sorry. So I kind of want to talk to you about
I don't know why I didn't edit that out. That's how lazy I am with editing. I fucking hate it. And that was even that way with audio. This is just audio.
what's been going on with me, if that's all right. Um, for years, I struggled with alcohol and depression, anxiety, and all that. Um, it's definitely hereditary because my father has it, my grandfather had it, my brother, he also has it. So,
And a lot more than that since I found out, since then. Just a year ago, I found out quite a bit. Quite a few people have that. You know what I mean?
for the past, I would say 6 years, I've been on antidepressants. And it's a learning process, that's for sure. Even now, I think I'm on my third medication. I don't take three, it's just, one type, 3 different times.
So I'll clarify that a little bit. I was on sertraline, then decided to go to, well, the doctor prescribed to me. I don't remember the damn name of it now. Well, I switched to something else and then I went back to sertraline.
And one thing I've realized is that, like,
That's another thing you'll hear a lot from me. One thing I realize, I realize shit all the time. Just that one thing. I need to shut the fuck up when I say that.
it's hard for me to have this. I don't know. Is it?
Does it sound depressing, y'all? I think it does still.
Have this. I don't know. Is it connection? I don't want to say connection with people because I got plenty of connections. I guess now at this point, I'm feeling sobered. I feel like the past 10 years have been a haze.
It's crazy hearing this. It's crazy hearing this. Because in a way, I still kind of feel the same way. You know what I mean?
So what I've decided, I think what I want to do for the show now is just kind of go throughout. I know probably at times it'll sound depressing, but I hope not. Hope somebody can listen to this and at least empathize with it, at least. But I've been really debating now because of my depression and anxiety. Let me let that bike pass. Because of my anxiety and depression, I've been thinking really hard about taking psychedelics. From what psychedelics and microdosing LSD has been shown to improve those with PTSD, TBI, traumatic brain injury, and depression. And all I really want to do is just feel normal, man. Just feel normal for once, dude.
And I still feel the same way now. Who doesn't want to feel normal? I can tell by my voice I was struggling there. There was just no outlet for me at that point. You know what I mean?
Shit is crazy. One day I'm super, super happy. Next day it's just like I'm down in the dumps.
It may not even be the next day. Maybe a week from now, 2 weeks from now, you get your peaks and valleys, obviously. But anyway.
There's, Good days and bad days. Just like normal, I guess, everyday people. But I don't want that to be taken advantage of. Like, I don't want that to be, I don't know, taken as a grain of salt, I guess. But just got a message from my wife. It's a meme, and it's a baby, in the womb, a picture of a baby in the womb. However, the womb is outside in space, and it says, "What if this reality is a dream, and when you die, we wake up?" That I totally believe in.
Yeah, man. I believe what we are now in this physical form is not who we are. This is not the end nor the beginning. We're somewhere in the middle.
It just doesn't feel real, man.
Simulation theory, anybody? Hit me up.
It doesn't feel real to me. The only thing that feels real to me is the love and I don't even know what else of my family. That's what I love about the medicine that I'm taking now. It actually makes me feel.
Yeah,
but
I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna put that out there. But if you want to hear that part, just go listen to it.
Back to the facts. I am on a journey. I am through this podcast. I'm going to go through and I'm going to start listing facts, and clips. Hopefully, I can get some clips in here. There probably going to be a lot of Joe Rogan clips, but
which I still haven't done.
If you're a Joe Rogan fan, shout out to him. If you're a Joe Rogan fan, he talks a lot about DMT. And Mike Tyson, actually. Mike Tyson just came out and said how he is affected by DMT. I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. The way I want to do it is I want to start off first with microdosing mushrooms, baby steps, basically. And then hopefully it doesn't go any further than that. I hope it doesn't. But if it does,
I don't want to. I'm like, I'm not into doing it as a drug. I want to do it as therapy. I want to do it for real and have real results. Not a party drug. I'm not a party goer. I'm not a party guy. This is, if I do party, it's me by myself in here. You feel me?
You'll be the first to know because it'll be on my podcast.
Right.
So, if you're down for this journey, subscribe, hit me up.
All right, so let's see.
I think psychedelics and the ways for treating depression. It looks promising. Like I said before.
What do you think, y'all? Is it promising?
I've said it many times. My name is Arsenio, and I suffer from depression. Yes, I say it that way because I've also been in AA.
Oh, shit. That's right, I have.
My life's not perfect.
Yo, I forgot that.
That's for sure. And I think with everything that kind of goes on in my life, that has gone on in my life, through my early childhood really played a big impact on who I am right now. And it's gotten, heavy. And that has put me into a depression. I have felt like I was standing still and everything was moving around me. I literally could probably cry for you right now. It would take a couple just to.
I can't believe I put that out. Yeah, but it's true. That's how sad I was, man. I probably could do it right now if I just sat here and started thinking about shit. I'll probably cry on you right now, for real, for real. But then it was like instantaneous.
It's a couple minutes probably.
That's why I had to switch back to Searchling. The whatever that was on. I think it was Vibrate. I think that's the name of it. Um, when I was on that, it was like everything was so. I was like so sad, but human connection was so beautiful. But at the same time, it was like I was just so sad. I couldn't control it. I couldn't do any of that. You know what I mean? It sucked. Anyway, Chuck, I want to make sure that's still going.
So I have all this emotional baggage that I don't know how to get rid of.
Yo, a lot of that shit still is for real. It's crazy. Um, but I've learned to deal with it a lot better, man. A lot better. It's not. Um, I don't know if it was necessarily the medication, but for sure, it was 100% my mom dying and having the appreciation for life. You know, I didn't give a fuck about life, way before my mom died. I didn't give a fuck about no life. Fuck out of here. Now it's different.
I smoke pot all day, every day. Let me stop lying. I don't smoke it that much.
Yeah. Yes, I do. I always try and be honest and shit and humble and whatnot, and then hide it a little bit. But nah, yo, I smoke every day, all day.
I honestly do use it as a medicine. I'll get up in the morning, have some breakfast, have my coffee, smoke a cigarette, chill for a couple of hours, go, if I take a shower, want something else, take a couple. But I'm tired of smoking it.
So at that point, I was like for real, and I realized eating it fucked me up. All right, so let me tell you what happened to me. I had 6 little gummy worms, and I fucking hallucinated. I thought my heart was about to beat out of my chest. My whole world just collapsed right in front of me. It was crazy as hell. But yeah, that was the last time I did psychedelics or psychedelics. Yeah, right. I haven't even done those yet. Edibles. But anyway, so yeah, if you eat too much edibles, you can trip.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all being here, for real.
I still do.
Appreciate y'all clicking on the show. Hoping to get that soon. Meow. Anyway, years later, Morgan learned about microdosing, taking tiny portions of psychedelic substances.
Right. So I got into obviously an episode where I talked about someone's experience. I guess let's hear it.
Antidepressants. You couldn't do none of that. What is that? You're crazy. You're not man.
Yeah, let's go back a little bit.
Maybe I'm having a problem processing emotions. Because as a young man in the 80s and 90s, you couldn't be a punk. You couldn't have any emotions. You had to be a man, and you couldn't cry. You couldn't take antidepressants. You couldn't do none of that. What is that? You're crazy. You're not man enough.
It's still the same today. It's getting better. I think it's getting better. At the same time, the amount of psychedelics for therapy and PTSD is getting better. You feel me? So people are starting to understand that psychedelics has a big part on the human brain, man, and it's been quite a bit that's happened ever since I've done this podcast.
Anyway, years later, Morgan learned about microdosing, taking tiny portions of psychedelic substances. A 20th of a dose. That seems to be popping up a lot. Between a 10th and a 20th of a dose to get positive effects. He gets more focus, emotional balance without negative. Oh Lord, I messed that all up.
Still can't read. See,
Like
I'm
more
stretching for
focus,
time.
emotional balance
I was stretching for time.
without the negative and hallucinations and disorientation. See, that's what I'm worried about.
Still can't read.
I want to see the. I kind of want to. Obviously, I want to see the visuals. But the disorientation is what I'm scared of.
Okay, as I've done a little more research and a year later into my little journey into psychedelics, I've learned that the you get what you put into it. You get back what you put into it. So if you're going to go into something, let's say if you're going to take a hero dose of, mushroom psilocybin, then um you have to go in with an initiative. You have to go in there and say, "Hey, I want to work on this time." You know what I mean? So you have to have it's you can use it as a party drug, just like bud. You can smoke it all day, every day. But for real, it helps you deal with shit. It at least brings it to the surface. Let me say that cannabis helps bring issues to the surface. I think psychedelics can help you deal with those issues. You feel me?
I got real bad motion sickness, so I know I'm gonna
Yeah. I've already at this point now, man. I've already noticed that. I've already know that I'm gonna probably puke my ass off
puke the first time I do it. Probably the second time I do it.
every fucking time I do it. I know I will be puking.
He realized that taking small doses allowed him to process his emotions without the stronger visual effects and looping thoughts. So, I think that's fucking awesome, dude.
I think that's fucking awesome, dude.
To be able to process them and look at my own brain through that.
Yeah.
People say that they've had, and some people have never had that breakthrough. I want to have that breakthrough, but I want to do it carefully. I want to do my research, look into it, and just, be happy, yo. I have appreciation. That's not the same. I love my family. But I feel like what's in my head is fucking me up, man. And it's not that I want to do anything violent, because I don't,
I still don't. All right. Since then, I've reached out to various people in the family, and various people in the family have reached back out. That has actually helped me a lot. A lot. Just the acknowledgement of, hey, what's up? Or I'm sorry for your loss, man. Shit, we're cousins. We got to try to stay, you know, connected. That alone helped.
because I have no faith in humanity anymore. I really don't. With everything that's going on today and everything that's happening in the news, and people out here, they're talking civil war, anarchy, you know. It's the end of times. And I want to be able to make sure that I'm mentally strong enough for my family when the shit hits the fan.
Yep. 100%. Still feel that way. But I think at least in the circles that I'm, watching my podcast and kind of, the people around me, it looks to be getting better. I think people are starting to realize that social media and the news and clickbait and stuff like that, I think people are starting to awaken to it. At least that's what I'd like to think.
appreciate y'all listening. Coming up, I have a little story of my background, a little bit. It's real short, about 5 minutes. I didn't get to write a whole bunch. It's just a little bit of it. So tune in for it. Love y'all. Peace.
That was a hard ass edit. I hope y'all can hear
I've decided to start from the beginning. I was born in April of 1982 at the Jersey Shore Medical Center in Neptune City, New Jersey. My mom was 24 and on her third child. She had 3 sons, of which I am the youngest. Both of my parents were born in Puerto Rico. My mom's from Wayuya and my father's from Mayagüez. My father's father came over sometime in the 50s or 60s when the U.S. was flying Puerto Ricans in to work. Every time I saw him, he was walking out of a bar in Asbury Park called La Bamba. I don't know much about him, but he did die in a house with a tin roof and mud floors in 2010. My grandmother was an illiterate immigrant that practiced Santeria. She babysat me before I went into kindergarten, and I remember her praying in the hallway to a wall full of candles. She would bring offerings of money, smoke cigars, and leave liquor out for the spirits. My father always told me she was pure Taína, and she looked it too. She stood 5 foot tall, dark-skinned, with a full head of jet black hair. She had always lived with a man named Carlos, which I considered my grandfather, but I don't think he gave a shit about me. He was a mean, alcoholic bastard, too. I remember my father almost fighting him a few times, but I'm not sure exactly what happened. I presume abuse. If someone told me that Carlos was abusive, and it wouldn't surprise me. We moved away a few years later, and my grandmother ended up in a nursing home where she died in 2002 with Alzheimer's and dementia. The last memory I have of her was eating some McDonald's French fries at someone's house that I won't name because it was clear she wasn't getting the help she needed. She stared at me as if she really wanted to remember me but couldn't. After an hour or so, my mother calls my name and her eyes light up, and she repeats my name and grabbed my hand as I walked towards the door, but I was too scared to look back. For years I felt bad about it, but now I look at it more positively. She remembered me. So for that, I love you, Abuela. I know you can still hear me.
Thank you, everybody, for watching, for listening, for supporting. I really do appreciate it. And I just want to say that if you want to support some more, if you join the Patreon, patreon.com/Rsay, starting May 31st, if you join the VIP tier, you get a free bottle of CBD. Thank you so much for everybody, for listening, for supporting. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, rate, review, and all that good stuff. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.